It's a packed crowd here at Woodlan High School for the 2A semifinal between number 1 Whitko and number 10 Bluffton. We are getting ready to go here today in this big top 10 clash at the 2A class. Both starting fives on the floor here tonight. And George O'Brien, the referee, alongside Shane Salisbury and Philip Touche, ready to go. The tip. And we are underway. Rolled on the floor quickly. A foul called. Allie Brown, a 6'2 junior, able to win the tip and is forced away to Hazel Leffers. Foul going to be called on the Bluffton Tigers, first of the evening. This is going to be a fast-paced matchup for both of these teams. They score a lot, over 65 points a game for these two squads. And Whitko is going to hope to work quickly in transition. Kyra Love, 3-ball at the wing. She's got it. And we are underway. 3-ball, 2 seconds into this one. Bluffton 18-5 this season. Third season of head coach Doug Curtis. And the ball is currently on the floor. 3 players grappling for it. And it looks like a jump ball going to be possession arrow. Oh, keep it Bluffton basketball. Heck of an effort there by Allie Brown, who is the main person that Doug Curtis is hoping to take advantage of tonight. 6'2 down low. They need Sophie Eisenup, the 5'11 junior setter, to play well tonight if the Tigers want to get through this with a win and keep their season alive. Bringing it across the timeline, driving down low. It's Kyra Lowe. It's off the right iron and no brought back down. That time by the Wildcats. Here on the near side, driving in. Low, kick back out of the far corner. Leffers drives in and hands back over to Allie Brown. Brown double team, hands it off. Minute into this one. 3-ball from the left wing. It's good once again. 6-0 here early in favor of the Wildcats. In transition to the other end. Chloe Dick trying to work down low. She hands it back up. Shot put up off the glass and no good. And a rebound finally worked on the floor and brought in by Conley Alt. She drives in, heads to the basket, and will be fouled. Reese Stonebreaker will get called with the foul. And she's the one with the 3-ball last possession for the Wildcats. Conley Alt, a lone senior on this roster, hit on the first of 2 from the line. She's averaging 21 points a game this season, up to 25 in the state. Big reason why she's nearly shooting 50% from the field. She connects on the second, 6-1. Wildcats in the lead. Just over 2 minutes into this one. Kyra Lowe brings it past half court. Now Allie Brown at the top of the key. Over to Reese Stonebreaker, lone senior on the other roster. 12 points last time out in the first round of the sectional. Driving down low, Allie Brown puts it off the glass. It's no good. And it goes out of bounds off of Eden Nash. She's got a hand on it. They get it away from Brown. She's matched up down low, inbound it from the near side baseline. Trying to find somebody. Nearly a 5-second call. Not going to be there. Reese Stonebreaker in the corner. Nearly gave it away, but back up. Back to Stonebreaker, right corner. And the 3-ball is off back iron. And it'll head out of bounds once again. Eden Nash can't keep it in. 5'8 junior wing. She's been one of the best rebounders on this squad, averaging just south of 5 a ball game. 5-point game. 6:13 left to go in the first quarter. Inbound pass. Reese Stonebreaker by surprise. She puts a one shot, gets her own rebound. Second chance, no there. And the ball stripped to like a jump ball called for. That could be the case. Possession arrow flipped over the top-ranked Wildcats. And 22-1 this season has been a true run for Justin Jordan. Across his 6 seasons. 3 single year they've gotten better. Kyra, another 3-ball. She can't miss. A left-handed shooter, and she trails it. 9-1 the lead. On the other end, drive down low. Brown with the contact and a foul. Shot put up and in. And the Tigers able to get some momentum back right there. And Chloe Dick a 5'8 sophomore. And then right to the point a little bit. Conley Alt and her have gone back and forth. She's coming off of an incredible game against Manchester. 25 points back a week ago. And can't hit on the free throw. Goes out of bounds off the low. So it'll stay Bluffton basketball underneath the basket. And Dick's been incredible, averaging 16 points a game. And shooting nearly 40% from beyond the arc is where she really shows her prowess. She's got it in the corner after the inbound pass. Driving in this time, but she gives it away. Pickpocketed that time by Jameis Stonebreaker. She works in transition. Now going to slow it down. Low the top of the key. Feeds it over to Hazel Leffer. She puts up a three once again. 4 for 4 from beyond the arc this game for the Whitko Wildcats. They lead 12-3. And that piece for Bluffton, head coach Doug Curtis. They cannot get rid of the basketball on forced turnovers, and they did right there. Conley out trying to bring it past half court. Hit it up for shooting out of bounds. And the second forced turnover of this first quarter for the Wildcat. And they forced over 20 steals a game thus far this season. Lowe driving in. Long floater off the glass. Rings no good. Brown trying to bring it back down for the Wildcats. She can't. In transition, Conley Alt trying to go the entire way. Loses her footing. Picks it back up and floats one in. Conley Alt needing to heat up here in this first quarter as the Wildcats lead by 7. 12 under 5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Hazel Leffers. Back over to Kyra Lowe at the top of the key. Justin Jordan shouting it low, setting up this offense. Hands it back over to Reese Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker driving in team, and she gets away. Trying to split the defense with a Euro step, and she lost it as it bounds. One quick change. Looks like we'll get a fat. Allie Brown will check out of this ball game. Jocelyn Lukey will check in. And Kyra Lowe will also check out on the other side as Jules Leffers, the 5'8 freshman, checks in. Full court press for the Wildcats. They nearly get the turnover, but finally Bluffton able to get it past the timeline. Driving in is Conley Alt. Hands it back over to Chloe Dick. She puts it off the glass, no good. And a rebound into the hands of Stonebreaker. Far outlet pass, Jocelyn Lukey right into the ball game, and she makes her name known. Easy off the glass and in. 9-point lead for the number 1 team at 2A. And they force another turnover. Carly Strong trying to go coast to coast. Goes all the way down to the went off her foot, but they're going to call it still to the Wildcats. She'll inbound it right underneath the basket at the left block. Hands it back over to Carly Strong. She drives in, puts it off the glass, and good. 7-point lead. There for the Wildcats. 14-7 left in the first quarter. Top of the key now for Jules Leffers. Driving in on Sophia Eisenhunt. Kicks it to the corner. Now to the ring here for Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker back over to Leffers. Top of the key, she'll stop. And gets it back over to Jocelyn Lukey. No shot clock in high school basketball here in Indiana. So a long possession here for Whitko. Leffers nearly lost it. Head coach Curtis is pleading for a double dribble. Hazel Leffers, the sister, drives in, stops her. She's one of 3 sets of sisters on this Whitko roster. She gets it back down low to the right block. And Jameis Stonebreaker is fouled. Put it on Conley Alt. And one quick substitution. Kyra Lowe will check in as Hazel Leffers corrects the call there. Carly Strong, number 24, with the fraction for Bluffton. Ray Stonebreaker trying to get the in-out pass. A second call. Took too long. Got hands. And the first forced tray for Bluffton. 14-7, 3:28 left in this first quarter. Still the full court press for the Lady Tigers. Now inside to Conley Alt. She gets it past half court. Alt in over to the left. Carly Strunk working around the perimeter. Now here to Eden Nash. Nash finds Alt. Alt working on Lowe. She gets her pocket picks. Lowe working it forward. 2 on way. Good feed. And that's up and in. Jameis Stonebreaker gets a great pass from Lowe. And Whitko is extending the lead. 16-7 With 3 minutes left here in this first quarter. Allie Brown, the 6'2 junior, will head to the scorer's table. Looking to check in here soon. Conley Alt brings it past half court, running the point here today. Chloe Dick drives in. She's double teamed at the left lane, and she's hacked by Jameis Stonebreaker. As the one with the infraction, that is going to be the case. And that'll be her first foul of the evening. Brown checks in, and Stonebreaker will check out. The senior, again, 12 points, 4 for 11 from 3, and the first round of this 2A section semifinal. Conley Alt drives it at the right angle, floats one up, and it's no good. Rings off the front iron, and Allie Brown forces it through. They try to feed it right back down to her on the other end, and it's thrown out of bounds. Now, we mentioned going into this one, this is going to be a fast-paced matchup. Just do it. They're going to need to score a lot in this one and not give up the basketball. 5 losses this season. They've had nearly 20 or more turnovers in all 5 of those. 3 ball at the left wing. No good from Chloe Dick. And back into the hands of Jules Leffers. Both these teams shoot very well from 3. Justin wants to 3. And that's the first miss of the evening for Whitko. 2:14 left to go in the first. 16-7, the Wildcats here in front. And a foul call. And Chloe Dick trying to drive in on Kyra Lowe, and she got the contact. And Lowe, that'll be her first foul of the evening. And fourth foul in this first quarter. Therefore, the Wildcats. So one more foul, and Bluffton will go into the bonus. They'll shoot straight 2. There's no 1-and-1. They're Indiana girls basketball. Outlet pass forward past the timeline. Chloe Dick running the point now. She makes a move, drives in, high floater about 10 feet out, and it's short. Offensive rebound and the foul called. Sophie Eisenhut, 2-sport athlete, also a varsity volleyball player, got the offensive board and called the foul. She's been great this season. And the first shot from the free throw line is good. She's only shot about 50% from the charity stripe, but she's been great on the offensive glass. Team leader with over 10 rebounds a ball game this season, and she's been running this defense. Second shot from the stripe, and it's another Bennett. And a 2-for-2 trip for Sophie Eisenhut. 16-9, the Wildcats still on the Bluffton Tigers. 1:51 left to go in this first quarter. Jules Leffers, she's had a long set here in this possession. Drops her feet, kicks it back over to the key. 3-ball, Patty Lukey, and she hits. Once again, another 3-ball for the Wildcats. They've been draining them all day long. Aggressive defense leads to an aggressive set of offense for Chloe Dick. She goes coast to coast, misses the shot off the glass, brings back down her own board, but she can keep her footing. Travel called, and another forced turnover by Coach Jordan's squad. Just under 90 seconds left to go in this first quarter. 7-point lead after already 4 3-pointers early for the Wildcats. At the right wing for Jules Leffers, the freshman. Got her action early. She's got her stop feet. Got to get it off to Allie Brown. Dunk back down, Leffers. Reverse layup, no good. Brown with the offensive board. She's stripped away by Eisenhut. And a ball. It'll head the other way. One quick change. Hayes Leffers comes to the scorer's table. She'll check in as Eddie Lukey will check out. Lukey, 5'6" fresh with that big 3. Put the Wildcats now up by 7. 1:02 left to go in this first quarter. Bluffton trying to get in, still with a full court press as it'll relinquish here for the Wildcats. Chloe Dick will bring it up. She has been incredible. Across the last 7 games, every single game she scored at least 10 points, and she's averaging 20 points a ball game, shooting nearly 50% from beyond the arc. She hands it back off to Conley, who drives in at the left elbow, and right in the mid-post, she drops it down. 8-point lead for Whitko with under 40 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Allie Brown's going to try a 3, and it's too much, but there's Leffers for the offensive board. Another 3-ball at the other corner, it's no good, and another offensive board for Brown. Whistle called, and it'll be a foul on the 6'2 junior. That'll be her second of the evening. And with that, it'll head Bluffton to the line to shoot a pair. Of course, here in Indiana High School basketball, the girls level, the 4 quarters change in 2023 when you get to 5 fouls. Immediately, quick quarter, the double bonus, as each team will shoot 2 from the charity stripe. All the one fouled, and she hits the first from the line. She's been over 71% from the charity stripe this season. And again, the only senior on this roster. Doug Curtis has really credited her with pretty much a coaching role this season. She hits both. And back to just a 6-point game is keeping it closer. 24 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Right corner 3, it's good. Justin Lukey left open, and she can't miss. The threes are raining in this first stanza for the Wildcats. They lead by 9. They force another turnover as Reese Stonebreaker brings it forward. High off the glass, a shot no good. And brought in by Alt. Outlet pass over to Dick. She lays it up and in. And with some contact as we head to the buzzer. It's all about the threes for the Lady Wildcats. 22-15 after the opening break. Back and forth here in this one. We'll be right back. Second quarter action of the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week right here on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. And it's all about the 3-ball for the Whitko Wildcats. Parkview Sports Medicine's Game of the Week. They lead 22-15 as we head here to the second quarter. Early, Hazel Leffers knocks down another one. 6 3-pointers right now for the Wildcat as they now lead by double digits. 25-15 the score. Trying to answer on the other end. A 3-ball from Carly Strong is too strong off the far iron. Another rebound there for Stonebreaker, who's been better defensively tonight, even though he's mainly ran the floor as lone senior on this roster. Headed to St. Francis this next year. Now she gets the ball at the left wing. And driving in on Conley Alt. Alt, some fierce defense. Finally, Stonebreaker works her way in. Kicks it back over into the corner. Another 3 off the back iron, no good. Thrown back into their offensive board. Great effort by Jameis. Stonebreaker sets up low, and she banks it off the back rim. How about it for Kyra Lowe? Her third 3-pointer, and she's leading all scorers with 9 points here this evening. On the other end, driving in to the basket was Carly Strong, and she's whacked from behind. And she'll go to the charity stripe. A foul will go on the sophomore in Hazel Leffers. And Strong will go to the line to shoot 2. And that's the big thing. She can get to the rim anytime she wants. She misses a first. She's only had a couple of free throw attempts this season. And shooting just over 52%. Here, a lot of hustle play. She showed it right there. She's unable to get either shot from the line. And that's a missed chance there for the Tigers. And a rebound missed, goes out of bounds. And it'll stay Wildcat basketball. 90 seconds into the second quarter. 28-15. Whitko in front. Number 1 team. Here in 2A is winning from beyond the arc. Good pass down low there to Brown. And she puts out the glass and in. Allie Brown been looking good today. Adds on top of it her first points here this evening. Chloe Dick nearly gives it away. Kyra Lowe with some great defense at the top of the key. Right now here to Conley Alden. Works around the perimeter. Driving in on Lowe. Gets the contact and the foul. Now the shot go down. Justin Jordan happy with that call. Lowe once again with the foul. Her second of the evening. And her shot from the right. And Conley Holt hits once again. And her and Chloe Dick have been the best 2 free throw shooters this season. Both shooting nearly 75%. And Alt's got just a little bit better, going 2-2 from the line. 13-point lead for the Wildcats. It will take it down, and so will we. 30-16, 6:20 to go in the second. This is Parkview Sports Citizen's Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. The number one team in 2A is showcasing why. They lead by 13, 30-17 with 6:20 left to go here in the second quarter in this second of 2A sectional semifinals right here at Woodlan Junior Senior High School. On the other end for the Bluffton Tigers, 11 of their 17 points tonight have been by their lone senior in Conley Alt. She looked really good against Whitko in last year's sectional championship, scoring 19 points, and she's going to need to take over if Doug Curtis's squad wants to keep their season alive here tonight. Moving left to right on the radio dial, the Wildcats will bring it past half court and hand it over to Hazel Leffers at the left wing. Works around the perimeter, gets it off to her sister in Jules. These two fighting the most, according to Justin Jordan in practices, of the three sets of sisters on this roster. Low, trying to work around. Rocks back in, just in front of the three-point line. At the right wing, she hits. Kyra Lowe, 11 points. The lone Wildcat in double figures here today. And another turnover. Reese Stonebreaker on the other end, lays it up, but it's blocked. Second chance, Lowe will get a handle on it and put it up and in. The basket will be good. And a foul call. 17-point lead. As Justin Jordan will take a 30-second timeout. 5:38 left to go in this second quarter. As Whitko doubling up on Bluffton Tigers right now. A dominant season. Shooting over 45% from the field this year, 33% from three. And they have been great from beyond the arc already today. Nearing double three-pointers here this evening. Big reason why they got out to an early 9-1 lead across the first 2 minutes of this one. And they're nearing a 20-point lead nearing the halftime break. And Justin Jordan, what an effort he has done to help this team get from a 1-17 mark in COVID when he took over this squad. Now they'll be in the front runner. Take home the state title later at Cambridge Fieldhouse in about a month's time. Out of the break, working it, Eden Nash trying to drive, and she goes up and gets the foul. The third foul in this second stand for the Wildcats. And Nash will head to the line to shoot a pair. Shooting just under 50% from the stripe this season. And they can't hit on the first. This Bluffton team again, only one senior being Conley Alt. They lost 5 playing seniors from last year's squad, 4 of them being hers, and Conley Alt really the only returning player with significant numbers from a year ago. Nash can't hit the second, 0 for 2 trip to the line. 34-17, Wildcats in front. 3 ball at the left corner, too strong, but there's the offensive board for Jocelyn Lukey. She gets it back after a pass in the corner, hands it back over to Leffers at the top of the key. Leffers tries to dart one down low. It's tipped in out of the hands of her sister and Hazel Leffers, but given away. Carolee Strong driving it on the other end. A wild layup off the glass. It's no good. Rebound goes off her leg and out of bounds. And Bluffton struggling to get offensive momentum. 5 minutes left of this first half. The Tigers leading by 17 as Jules Leffers, that rather Hazel, slowly bringing it past the half-court marker. Nice one stripped and a foul call. And nearly stripped away by Chloe Dick. And they're going to call foul that time on Jules Leffers. And strip ball. And the Tigers will hold course. Still a full court press for the Wildcats as they force nearly a turnover. It's poked out of bounds. Now they'll say it was off Hazel Leffers. Whitko's coaching staff in front of that, and they cannot believe the call. We were close to it too, and it seemed like it might have been off the leg that time of Carly Strong. Not going to call it that time. Going to keep it with Tigers basketball. Under 4:45 to go. Large outlet pass here to Sophie Eisenhut down low. Hands it off to Nash. She pulls up at the right block and rings it in. Nash finally getting some points on the board. Her first made basket of the evening after an 0 for 2 start. Hazel Leffers darting into the left lane, puts it off the glass, no good, but she gets whacked trying to head to the basket. Double team down low, blew through 2 defenders. And Leffers will go to the charity stripe. She has struggled from the charity stripe this season. Just 9 for 30 from the line. She can't hit on the first. Couple of changes. Cameron Alt will check into the game as Ethan Nash checks out for the Tigers. On the other end for the Wildcats, Kyra Lowe will be into the ball game. And a second shot, no good, off the back iron. Gina Stonebreaker, a Wildcat to check into this one. Stomping her feet, Conley Alt's got to give it away. Nearly to a 10-second call. They got to get it past the timeline. Barely do. The 10-second marker is Cameron Alt, but she gives it away. Hazel Leffers with the steal. The easy lay on the other end. And, man, this is nearly becoming a blowout. 36-19. Wildcats opening it up here in this first half. Over to Sophie Eisenhut. Tigers finally able to bring it past the timeline with no issue. Conley Alt rearing into the right lane. She can't hit the first one, gets her own rebound, and hands it up to Sophie Eisenhut, who puts it up and in. Quickly in transition. Lowe thought about dishing a pass down low. Now goes to the right corner. 11 triple, and it's off the front iron. Leffers, still a second effort, nearly forced the steal. She's got the ball. And able to force another great effort on the defensive end. Conley Alt was trapped into the corner. Possession arrow. And staying to the Wildcats. And they force another turnover. This team averaging over 18 steals a ball game this year. James Stonebreaker gets the inbound to the top of the key. Gets it over to Lowe. Working to her right. She's got a brace in her left hand. It's not using that left arm a whole lot. James Stonebreaker driving in, stops her feet, gets it over to Hazel Leffers. Leffers at the top of the key. Now the charity stripe. Pushes in, gets into the corner. 3-ball, rings in and out. Jules Leffers trying to get an offensive board, and she throws it off a Tiger. Chloe Dick was trying to keep it into the baseline, and it was thrown off her leg. A pair of first turnovers keep this possession going for the Wildcats as they still lead by 15. 36-21, 3 minutes left to go as that's a big block from behind. And again, forced out of bounds by Sophie Eisenhut. And once again, going to be inbounded from the baseline. Irie Stonebreaker. Couple early threes. Up out on the other end. 3 minutes left to go in this first half. At the top of the key, it's Seamus Stonebreaker. Works around a screen from Jules Leffers. Gets it back over to Lowe at the right wing. She's already got 3 triples tonight. Drives in, floats an underhanded toss up and off the glass. And it's no good. Finally, for over 2 minutes, the Tigers have the basketball. Racing down the other end, Chloe Dick nearly gives it away. Kicks it back over to Conley Alt, who forces her way to left lane. And falls and gives the basketball away. It's been a wild for the Bluffton Tigers. They've been sloppy and have given the basketball away a lot here in these first 6 minutes. Allie Brown, after nearly missing the entirety of this second quarter, will check in. And same case for Jocelyn Lukey. Right past half court. As Lowe over on the floor. Over the far side, Jocelyn Lukey. Out of the zone, the Tigers go. Low, a little heavy. Cross-court pass over to Jules Leffers. Into the corner. 3-ball for James Stonebreaker. Off the right iron, and no good. Into the corner, bringing it back once again is Carly Strunk. She's going to slow it down. Finally get off to Conley Alt. Alt found an opening for defenders, and she throws it off the side of the iron. Has struggled 11 points in the first quarter. Nothing since then here in the second. And a jump ball called on the other end. Jules Leffers racing to the basket. And she's stripped up there by Strunk. Possession arrow should go to the Tigers' way. I think Jules Leffers thinks that's Wildcat basketball. She'll check out of the ball game. Same case for Lowe and James Stonebreaker. Jules Leffers and Hazel Leffers on the floor. Jocelyn Lukey, Allie Brown, as well as Reese Stonebreaker. Jules Leffers stripped up, and another jump ball. This time, it'll stay towards the Wildcats after nearly forcing a turnover. Olsen checks in, check that rather than Bree Stonebreaker. She's out of the ball game for these final 2 minutes of this first half. Jules Leffers trying to force it in. She's stripped away by Conley Altz. Altz 1-on-2 the other way, trying to force it off the glass. Gets her own rebound after a miss. Misses once again. Ball ranging around on the floor right underneath the basket. Allie Brown comes up with it. And another jump ball. Brown is on the floor in some discomfort after trying to grapple at that last possession. She's holding on to her left leg at the moment. And they'll check on her. 36-21, 1:30 left to go in this first half. This is Parkview Sports Medicine's Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. And the top team in 2A on the road to Indianapolis. 21 straight wins. They're looking for number 22. But they might be without Ellie Brown. Their 6'2 junior setter for the rest of this one. She went down on the floor in the last possession heading into the break. Luckily able to get up back on her own feet and walk to the training room with her own effort. Nonetheless, Whitko with a 15-point lead. 36-21 with 1:33 left to go in this first half. Tigers with the basketball underneath the basket, the left side of your radio dial. They're working from right to left. And I get it back in to Chloe Dick. Dick working around the perimeter, driving in at the charity stripe. And she puts up a shot, and she's fouled. Justin Jordan cannot believe it. Through his hands. And he gets a technical. He cannot get it. Shows the technical sign right back to the referee. And he's still giving words. George O'Brien, the one giving the technical. Jordan cannot believe that call. And this could be a momentum swing for the Bluffton Tigers. Dick will shoot the first two after being fouled. And she hits the first. She's been the best free throw shooter this season. Over 73% this year for the Tiger sophomore. Second shot. And it's no good. The Tigers will be able to choose who's going to get to shoot these second two. Again, they'll also get the basketball after these two shots from the line. Looks like they're going to choose Conley Alt, and a senior is going to head the line. They're confirming here that she can still shoot here. Four fouls overall in the Wildcats. All three referees, Gene Salisbury, Philip Touche, and George O'Brien, discussing this and confirm that Alt can shoot from the charity shrine. In all 23 games this season, she has been able to put together at least 10-plus points. Hits the first from the line, making 12 points on the evening. A leading scorer for these Tigers. And she hits both. So 3 for 4 from the line for the Tigers between Dick and Alt. And it's back to a 13-point game. Still Tiger basketball. And they'll inbound it from the far end line. Alt's going to bring it in. And some tough pressure here by the Tigers. Hands it over to number 2, Grace Fried is checking into the game. Alt back over to Eisenhunt. Eisenhunt off the glass, gets her own rebound after the miss. A tie up there and another jump ball. We have seen about 5 jump balls in the last 3 minutes of this one. Possession arrow favoring the Wildcats. We'll have a couple changes as number 21, James Stonebreaker, will check in. And same case for Kyra Lowe. Checking out will be Willow Osborne, the 5'7" junior guard. No pressure by the Tigers in the backcourt. And easily bring it past the timeline is Hazel Leffers. 70 seconds left to go in the half. 36-24. Whitko, a number 1 team in 2A, on front. And this girls' sectional matchup. Raymond Stonebreaker over to Jamie, her sister. She holds it, brings it back over to the near side. Hazel Leffers, a long jump, and she's fouled. Came back down to the floor, and Carly Strunk was right there for her, but a little too aggressive for Strunk. It'll be her second foul of the evening, and she still does not have a point. Kyra Lowe, she's been great. 11 points, 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. has at the top of the key. Again, can only work it from the right hand. And she nearly throws it away. But gets it over to Hazel Leffers. Looks like the Wildcats may hold on to this one for the final shot with 35 seconds left to go. Tigers working to the zone. Leffers with dead feet. Back over to Reese Stonebreaker. A senior St. Francis commit gets fouled. And again, they're strong. So that'll be third foul this second quarter for the Tigers. So they'll have to foul the Wildcats a pair more times if they're going to center the line. And I think Justin Jordan content with ending this half with one final possession. Lowe working around the perimeter. Open space to the right wing. Hands it back over to Hazel Leffers. The far side. It's time for James Stonebreaker. 15 seconds left to go in the half. 36-24 Whitko. Far side Lowe. Has to work with the right hand. She's trying to give way. Working this penalty all. Double team. So left. Seconds left to go. Leffers driving 2 seconds. Hand back over. Lukey with a three. And it's way off the mark. A 45-second final possession for the Whitko Wildcats, but they'll still take it. They led by as much as 17 in first half, and they lead by 12 heading into the break. Whitko 36, Bluffton 24 heading in to the break of this one. Big there, this one, Kyra Lowe, 3 for 4 from beyond, 11 points leading the Wildcats in the early going. It has been all Conley off on the other end. The Tigers, leading scorer this season, once again doing it here tonight with 13 points on the evening for this senior. Halftime coverage of the Commissioners coming up next year on Parkview Sports Game of the Week right here on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. 36-24, the number one ranked Whitko Wildcats on top here in this 2A sectional semifinal against the number 10 ranked Bluffton Tigers. Jaden Taylor, glad to have you with us here this evening from Woodlan Senior High School. Semifinal today, the winner will take on Bishop Lures tomorrow right here, same place at 7:30 p.m. We're underway here in this second half. 12-point lead for the Wildcats. And they've been averaging a win by over 22 points this season. Early turnover by Lowe. On the other end, Dick trying to put it off the glass, no good. And the Tigers work from right to left here in this second half as they have been dominant, but by two players they did not expect. Reese and James Stonebreaker have been quiet. James Stonebreaker puts up a three at the right wing, and it rings out no good. James thus far on a big first half, putting together a couple of points and 1 for 4 shooting. Big name has been Kyra Lowe, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. She gets the offensive rebound and brings it back up. And Lowe trying to go coast to coast. Quick kick over to Hazel Leffers. Right corner, 3, too strong. And brought back down that time by James Stonebreaker. Another great offensive board. And Lowe brings it back out near the timeline. Minute into this third quarter, 12-point lead. Nobody's scored yet in this second half. James Stonebreaker back over to her sister and Reese. Reese 1 for 7 from the field today. Again, she's the leading scorer, put together 19 points last year against this Bluffton squad. Quiet today. Low the top of the key. Stops her feet. Some pressure there by Cameron Alts. Bluffton still working into the zone. Trying to find a three is Jocelyn Lukey. Far corner, she's got it. Lukey from beyond the arc. Another three ball. Her first points of the evening. A 5'6" shooter coming off at 8 points just a couple of nights ago against Woodlan. Free ball on the other end. How about an answer? Chloe Dick from the left wing. And a quick answer there for the Tigers out of the break. 39-24. 2 minutes into this third quarter as Hazel Leffers drives in at the right post. Kicks it back over to Lowe. Again, she can only work with her right hand. Good feed inside there to Reese Stonebreaker. And Reese puts it up and in. Great feed down low as Stonebreaker, again, leading scorer on this squad. Over 13 points a game. Second straight year that she's done that. And one of the highest all-time scorers in program history, hitting over 1,000 a couple of weeks ago. Conley Alts with a big name on the other end for the Tigers. She rummages down low through the left wing, and she's hacked at the low block. So we'll go to the line once again. She's been at the charity stripe all day long and put up A game high 13 points to back it up. And for shopping in, 5 free throws made today for Alds. And 13 points in that first half. And she's been an all-around two-way player, leading the team in points and assists this season. And she drops the other one of the 2 shots at the stripe. 12-point game. Good feed down low. Back over to James Stonebreaker. She throws it off the glass. And it falls back into the hands of Eden Nash. 3 Wildcats go falling into the floor as Nash trying to bring it past half court. She gives it away. Leffer's there with a pickpocket. And Reese Stonebreaker sets it up and in off the glass. Once again, great defense, turning into even better offense for the Wildcats. Chloe Dick trying to go coast to coast. She can't hit. Gets her own rebound, and she's tied up. Now Leffer's had a hand to it. It'll stay Tiger basketball underneath the basket. And good news for Wildcats fan. Allie Brown will check back into this one as she gets a warm welcome. She went down with about 2 minutes left to go in that first half, trying to get a rebound. It was grappling at her leg. She was back in full force after the break and into this one. Carly Shrunk, feed back over here to the near side. Sophie Eisenhut, Shrunk back into the corner, dunks it back down low to Eisenhut. Eisenhut working on Brown, shoots it, and it gets it right underneath the iron. Lowe gets the board, far outlet pass, too long for Lukey, who has to readjust. Lowe working on Shrunk, now double team, hands it back over. Reese Stonebreaker, long 3, that's off the left iron. Brown had a handle on it, but it rings back forward to Grace Fry's hand. She forces it forward to Chloe Dick, pulls up at the left post, and it's no good. Offensive rebound that time by Cameron Auld, who then gets it thrown away and into the back court. And over and back as Conley Ault put a touch to it. And another forced turnover. They're in the 20 turnover mark already for the Bluffton Tigers in this one. And that was the key for Doug Curtis. They cannot turn the ball over in this one if they want a chance against the number 1 team in this class. 14-point lead as the Tigers going from right to left on your radio dial. 43-29, 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Long pass from one side of the court to the other as Jocelyn Lukey grabs it the near side. Ball now all the way around the perimeter to Brown at the right corner. Back over to Lowe. Thought about a 3. Step back into one, and it's way short. Conley Ault brings it up. 2-on-2 the other way. Trying to take it herself. Rings in and out. Another missed chance for Conley Ault, who's only had 2 points here in the second half. Far outlet pass into the hands of Brown. Now rummages back over to Leffers. She puts up a 3, and it's off the front iron. Timeout call as Whitko wants to calm things down. A sloppy start here to this second half. 14-point lead for the Wildcats. We take a break as Justin Jordan takes a timeout. This is the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. What a season it has been for the number 1 ranked Whitko Wildcats here in 2A. 20 in this high leverage junior class with 8 players on this roster have been the main reason why. They lead 43-29 with 3:41 left to go in this third quarter. Semifinal action here in the 2A sectionals and Indiana High School girls basketball. Wildcats working from right to left in their white home uniforms. Red uniforms with a black numbering on the other end for the Bluffton Tigers. 3:30 left to go. Inside of the charity stripe for Jules Leffer. She throws it back over to Jocelyn Lukey at the right corner. Back into the hands now of Lowe. And in the zone are the Tigers. Dump down low to Allie Brown. She gets a large pass, jumps over, gets her hand to it, puts it up, and it rings in and out. An open chance there for Brown. Can't take advantage of it. As Carly Shrunk works baseline on the other end. Tries to feed it back over, but it looks like an offensive foul going to be called. Was trying to find Chloe Dick near the restricted area. And she gives it away. 14-point lead. It's been a slow second half of this one as the Tigers have stayed in their zone. And the Wildcats on the other end have tried to set up their possessions, but haven't been able to make shots. Reese Stonebreaker back over here to Jules Leffers at the top of the key. Now for Lowe at the left wing. A far corner pass to Jocelyn Lukey. Now into the corner even further, this time for Reese Stonebreaker. Jules Leffers inside of the low block. Shoots one up, and it misses off the front iron. A pair of points thus far here in this second half. A 3-ball on the other end. Carly Strunk too long. Another air ball and brought into the hands of Cameron Alt. She hands it back over to her sister, who knocks down a 3. Conley Alt from the right wing, and once again she connects. 18 points here on the night. And man, how good she has been this season, averaging 21 here this season. Turnover, fast break on the other end, and a miss by Cameron Alts. Forward pass on the other side. These two teams go back and forth, and Justin Lukey hits the open shots. 2 minutes left to go in the third. A 13-point lead for the Wildcats, who nearly force a turnover as Carly Strunk finally brings it past forward. She gives it away, ball out of bounds, and they'll say it was up the Wildcats. A diving effort there by Reese Stonebreaker, but forced on the baseline. And a couple of changes. Jocelyn Lukey and Kyra Lowe will check out. And Allie Brown, James Stonebreaker are back in. And inbound pass tipped up in the air. Brown nearly had it, but into the hands of Sophie Eisenhut for the Wildcats. Check that rather than the Tigers. As now here's Strong. Over to Conley Alts, driving in baseline. Got to work back out. 3-ball for Strong. Hits off the front iron, then the back iron, and swishes down. Strong with the 3. She's been needing it after a slow start to this one. And on the other end, a foul called down low. Now call the foul on the Tigers. It'll be on number 32, Isla Gibson, who just checked into this one. And making her first appearance in the second half. Under 90 seconds left to go. 45-35. The Wildcats up double digits still. Pass down low. Allie Brown got a hand to it. Poked away by Sophie Eisenhut. And trying to set it up down low. Brown at 6'2", matching up with Eisenhut at 5'11". Ray Stonebreaker will inbound it. Gets it back over to Jessie Levers. There at the low block. A couple of shaky moves and hits it off the glass and in. There in a minute left to go in this third. 12-point lead for the Wildcats. Far side Strunk. Tipped up in the air after the pass. Trying to work into the perimeter. As pushed out of bounds off the hand of Hazel Leffers. Jules and Hazel, freshman and sophomore. And trying to force the defensive effort there. Now the two referees on the far side will converse. And it looks like George O'Brien will overrule the initial call by Shane Salisbury and say that it was out of bounds off the Tigers. So another forced turnover by the top-ranked Whitko Wildcats. Under 50 seconds left to go in the third. 12-point lead for Whitko. Now Hazel Leffers up top here to James Stonebreaker. 21 straight wins for Justin Jordan. And if his offense can hold here, possibly 22. Allie Brown has it down low at the low block. Works into the restricted area. And she's fouled from behind. The backside help there by Chloe Dick. And all she could do is just try to get some of the basketball as Brown was heading up near the basket. She'll head to the stripe and leads the team in free throw attempts this season as she knocks down the first. Just under 60% from the line this year. And she makes it a 13-point game. Addie Lukey, already a three-pointer tonight, checks into the ball game. As heading out is the senior leader, Reese Stonebreaker. Second shot, no good, but a jump ball. Great effort down low that time. James Stonebreaker, and she forces another turnover. A turnover has been the name of the game for the Wildcats. Disruptive defense has been on display today. 3-ball by Addie Lukey. It's off the front iron and no good. 21 seconds left to go in the third. 48-35. Whitko in front. Moving from left to right. Another turnover forced by the Wildcats. James Stonebreaker trying to take it herself. She puts up a shot and she's fouled. Lady Tigers' defense has had no chance to be set defensively. The Wildcats have worked so quick on both ends of the floor, forcing turnovers truthfully near the timeline for the most part, and then working quickly on the other end, keeping the Tigers off balance. First shot up and good by James Stonebreaker. She hits the seconds, and now the 50-point mark for Whitko. 50-35, 10 seconds left to go as the Tigers bring it past half court here in this third quarter. Air to the near side, 5 seconds left to go. Eisen got to find something. Finds Gibson down low, puts up a shot. She misses it. A half-court heave is off the mark to round out this third quarter. 15-point lead. Final 8 minutes coming up. Whitko inching nearer and nearer to a sectional championship game tomorrow night. A date for the Bishop Lures Knights. 8 minutes left to go. 50-35. Fourth quarter coming up right here. The Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. The Whitko Wildcats, #1 team in 2A. Man, what a game this has been here. The Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. The Wildcats lead by 15 heading in for the fourth and final quarter. Jaden Taylor, glad to have you with us here tonight. Macy Gray, our studio producer, running the dials, back in the studio. Head to the fourth quarter, quickly working in is Sophie Eisenach. Kicks out a 3-ball for Chloe Dick, and it's back off the back iron, no good. As Jules Leffers will bring it up. Far outlet pass, Addie Lukey off the glass, no good. And back down to the hands. Once again, the speed race continues as Chloe Dick brings it back down the floor. It's been a sprint all day long for these two squads in this late matchup. Cameron all blocked, brought back down into the hands this time of Sophie Eisenach. And she gets it up and in. Eisenach, 6 points on the night. They've been hoping for more from her. She's averaged about 5 points a game. They got more from her tonight than normal. Now, the rest of this offense has been very quiet outside of Conley Alt. There is a steal down low by Eisenach, who poked it away from Allie Brown. Minute into this fourth quarter, 50-37, the Wildcats lead. Driving in, a foul called on Allie Brown. Conley Alt raced through that left corner, and she'll go to the line once again. She's been at the charity stripe consistently today. Perfect from the line for the senior, trying to not make it her final game in her high school career. She hits the first line, and 3 changes for the Wildcats. Depth showcased here today for Justin Jordan's squad. Allie Brown will check out. Same case for Jules Leffers and Addie Lukey. Kyra Lowe will check in. James Stonebreaker as well as on the far side. We also see Hazel Leffers in. Second shot. It's up and good. Conley Alt continues to rise her free throw mark. Far outlet pass and wide open just inside the 2 is Jocelyn Lukey at the left corner. And she hits the shot. Nothing but net there as they didn't even have a look at her at the near corner. Now Dick, top of the key, 3 off the front iron. And into the hands of Reese Stonebreaker right after it went out of bounds. And all Wildcats today coming off a 56-37 win against Woodlan on Tuesday. It was just the first time in 10 games they had not won by 20-plus points. And maybe back-to-back here, unless the Wildcats can dominate in this fourth quarter. But again, they've been just incredible this year. That'll be a forced turnover as Hazel Leffers throws it away. Back to Tiger basketball. Whitko 52, Bluffton 39. 6:30 left to go in this one. Conley Alt trying to force a comeback. And will this team back into this one? And what could be her final game of her high school career. She gets it back after nearly thrown away by Eden Nash. And Alt now the top of the key. Works around the perimeter. Kicks it over to the far corner. Struck with a 3. And it's back off the right iron. Again, too strong. As Strong only one made shot here tonight. Low working in. Good movement. Finally loses her left hand off the left block and throws it off the glass and through. Kyra Lowe has a brace and a little bit of tape as well in that left hand. She's barely used that left hand all evening, showcasing some pain, but finally uses it there. And now she throws it off the glass and in. 13 points on the night for her, nearing her career high of 17. On the other end, Tigers again giving the basketball away. Chloe Dick thrown on the floor, trying to keep the basketball in her hands after nearly giving it away. And another jump ball. Possession arrow staying to the Tigers. We'll flip now back over with 5:34 left to go. Ray Stonebreaker looking for some advice from Justin Jordan, her head coach. Ray Stonebreaker, top of the key. Steps back, puts up a 3. It's just short. And she continues to struggle. 1 for 8 early from the field. She's had a 3-ball, but that's been about it tonight. They've not needed her, though. She's been incredible this season, but quiet today. Sophie Eisen, a great feed in down to her meet Nash, and she misses it. And a wide open shot, and too strong off the glass, and a foul will be called. That time on Carly Strong. And she was trying to get the rebound, but a little too aggressive on Jama Stonebreaker down low. And Reese will inbound to Jama. We mentioned 3 sets of sisters on this roster. And Justin Jordan has spoke so much this year about how much of a family this team has been. They work really well. They're super unselfish. No player needs to take up too much of the floor. That's showcased tonight. Reese Stonebreaker is the leading scorer this season. Quiet today. And other players like Addie Lukey, James Stonebreaker, Jocelyn Lukey, and Kyra Lowe have made up for the lack of offensive effort by Stonebreaker, who has been good on the glass. Over 5 rebounds tonight for her. Hazel Leffers at the top of the key with under 5 left to go in this one. Tigers still working in the zone. Get no shot clock, so Wildcats may have a chance just to grind as much clock down as they can. Leffers drives in, finds Lowe, doesn't want 3, had it open though. Now triple team, far past the near side. Leffers tries to jump and get it back into her grasp. She steps out of bounds. 54-39. Wildcats in firm control of this one, up by 15 in the waiting 4 minutes of this one. Driving it, Eden Nash, trying to find something herself. Again, she gives it away. Tries to throw it back in bounds. She steps on the line before she's able to do so. Doug Curtis is going to take a timeout, try to regroup this Bluffton squad. They're going to need a massive comeback in the final 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Whitko 54, Bluffton 39. This is the Parkview Field Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. What a rise for the Whitko Wildcats. From a team that was 1-17 in 2020, 9-55 in their previous years. It's been continuous growth under 6 seasons of Justin and Jordan. 79-61 across his career, but every year has been better than the last. And this group of 8 juniors on this current squad, this has been the class that has revolutionized this 2A team to being the best squad in all of 2A. They lead 54-39 here in this sectional semifinal over the top 10 team in the class. The Bluffton Tigers trailing by 15. We're at the halfway mark of this 4th quarter as James Stonebreaker into the ball game over to the far side. Now here for her sister in Jama. They were the 2 to talk about going into this matchup. Both have been comparatively quiet tonight, but have made their efforts on other ends. And Jama still without a point here today. And man, she is again puts together great effort in other ways, over 5 rebounds. And other pieces of this offense have put up more offensively. Over the far side, Hazel Leffers now. Leffers works inside, found an opening through a defender, up the glass and in. Hazel Leffers has been one of those names now into double digits with 10 points this evening. And Leffers with 10, Jocelyn Lukey with 12. Not a big name that you're normally seeing to put up double-digit points. And this has been the story of the ballgame. Another turnover by the Bluffton Tigers, nearing 30 turnovers in this one. That is what the Whitko Wildcats defense has produced tonight. So fast-paced, so up-tempo, that Bluffton's not been able to adjust. Far pass inside Reese Stonebreaker, back out to Jama. A little more pressure here into the zone for the Tigers. Under 3 minutes left to go in this one. Far pass to the far side. Jocelyn Lukey can't hit inside the 3-point line. 56-39, Whitko up by 17. Chloe Dick driving in. She's going to get the foul. It'll be before the shot goes up, and they'll stay on the floor. And Justin Jordan lost in semi-state last year after taking down these Bluffton Tigers in this Woodlan Sectional Championship a year ago. And they don't want to look at semi-states this year. They want to look at Indianapolis this season. That's how high the expectations have been for this group ever since the summer. Justin Jordan made sure this group had some really good opponents in the summer, getting this group back together with their 8 juniors. They played multiple 4A, even 5A schools, and they ended up just with one loss across that entire stretch in the summer against those schools. And this team is legit. They're going to be a contender raining down the stretch here in 2A. Conley all to the top of the key. Very well her final game in a Tiger uniform. Gets it back down low to Eisenhower. They nearly pass it back to Auld, but it's into the hands this time of Cameron Alls. Conley back to the top of the key, working around the perimeter. Dick with a 3. And it's no good once again as the ball heads out of bounds. And it looks like it'll be off of Sophie Eisenhut and the Tigers. 2:09 left on the clock. 2:09 left in the career here for Conley Auld. What a career it has been. 91 steals this season, nearly a 75% shooter from the charity stripe, and averaging over 20 points a game. She's near that tonight, 19 on the evening, and nearly half of the entire points for the Tigers in this one. Hazel Leffers misses a jumper, and back into the hands of Chloe Dick. Dick, what a final 5 games it was for her, averaging over 20 points a game across the final 3 weeks of this one, shooting nearly 45% from beyond the arc. And Dick, a quiet one this evening. 8 points and a lot of missed shots in the second half. Dump down low to Dick. Double team back over to Conley Auld, who connects from the far block. Doug Curtis is going to take a timeout with 95 seconds left to go. And it'll be just a 30. 56-39. Whitko in front. And a reminder, after this one, stick around right here on 13 of the Fan and 100.9 FM for the Parkview Sports Medicine post-game show out of Pizza Hut out in New Haven. Eric Dukevich, as well as Adam Lundy, will have it for you, breaking down all the action across this Friday night here in the Summit City. Loads of great games going on. And the first one here in this sectional semifinal was arguably the better game of the two. Adams Central trying to have a comeback. They never led across regulation. Tied it up with 55 seconds left to go. Ava Stafford with a 2. But then Bishop Lures ended up holding on 52-45 the final after a 10-2 run in overtime. That's what pushed this game to starting late. Whitko never in doubt. They led 9-1, a minute and 30 seconds into this game after 3 straight threes, a pair of which by Kyra Lowe. She's been the one to watch today, putting together 13 points, nearing a career high. Under 90 seconds left to go after a foul. Lowe has it at the top of the key. She's being pressured by Eden Nash. Back over to Reese Stonebreaker. Far corner for Jama. Those two, what a season. They have a chance to go further and further and maybe bring Whitko a state championship the way this team's played. There at 60 seconds left. Jocelyn Lukey down low, puts it up and in. And what a performance for the 5'6 junior. Only averaging 5 points a game this year, and she's got 14 on the night. A career high for the junior. 50 seconds to go. Thrown out of bounds off the hands of Lowe. So again, Whitko's going to hold on to this one, and they'll take on Bishop Lures tomorrow right here at Woodlan Junior Senior High School. 7:30 p.m. tip for the 2A Sectional Championship right here just east of the Summit City. And Justin Jordan talked about it. Same case for Doug Curtis. It really feels like whoever can get out of this sectional every year can find their way to semi-states. That was the case last year for Whitko. And for 2 years ago, Bishop Lures, who barely got through Bluffton to the sectional championship, ended up going on to win the 2A state championship. And Chloe Dick at the line after a foul. And she hits the first of a pair. She can hit both ends of this trip. She'll be back in double figures tonight. Second shot rings true. And she's back to 10 points on the evening. 14-point game, 58-44. And the Tigers Their season's going to end tonight. A heck of a year, a lot of production that they had to remake and reproduce. Doug Curtis is very proud of this group despite their season coming to an end tonight. 20 seconds left to go. We'll see if Lowe and the Wildcats will ring this one out. Curtis will shout at his group, do not foul. Let the clock ring out. And for a second straight year, the Whitko Wildcats are headed to the 2A Sectional Championship tomorrow night. 58-44 the final score. And the number one team in 2A has won 22 straight games. What a season for the Bluffton Tigers. They wrap up at 18-6. And their season comes to an end after a 7-game winning streak getting them to this point. A 14-point win for the Wildcats. They'll take on Bishop Lures tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. tip. And what a night. Kyra Lowe nearing a career high in points. Jocelyn Lukey with 14 points, a season high for her. It wasn't the Stonebreakers tonight, but the depth and the great defense by Justin Jordan's Wildcats showed through. And a 14 win. Post-game action next here on the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM.